finding the area of a shape using the square tiles to figure out the area of our desk. We use square sticky notes. Why did we do that? Why did we do that? Emma, why did we do that?
Because a square can measure the length and width.
Think about our square tiles. A square can measure the length and width at the same time. When we're trying to find the area of a shape, we've got the length of a shape and the width of that shape. The reason why we use squares is because they already have those two measuring pieces built in. If I said, find the area of your desk using our square tiles, do you think you could do it?
Yes.
Yeah, I think you could. It would take a lot of square tiles, but I think you could do it. We need to know the whole inside of that shape using something that's measuring length and width at the same time. Marley?
Square tiles are also equal. Like all of them are equal. So like one's not bigger than the other.
Yeah, another good point that we have, which we remember from geometry, is when we use squares specifically, they have equal length. We know that the width is 1, then the length must be 1. That makes it a lot easier for us because we already know they're all the same length. We don't have to worry about which way we turned it. Think about if I asked you to measure your desk with a phone, right? That's a rectangle. Would you line it up like this? Or would you line it up like this?
Like that.
Either way.
Either way.
Well, now you kind of have to decide.
Usually you would put it this way.
Would you?
Oh, because if you put it
I put it like I don't know. So this is why we use squares. Hold her count. That way we don't have to think about it. It's all going to be the same length, no matter which way we turn that square.
Only different sizes.
Marley, what? Mason?
Like the length, like how many units the length and width is?
Close. It's how many ways we can measure.
Yeah.
So in 2D shapes, which is what we're measuring in third grade, we have 2 ways to measure. We can measure the length, and we can measure
The height.
the width. Now we did talk, there is a third dimension,
The height.
which is height. We are not measuring height in third grade. You will see height. So when you see something that says this is 3D, that's because that shape has length, width, and height. The shapes we're looking at today are 2D. We're only looking at length and width. All right, I'm going to be telling you the dimensions, and then you're going to tell me the area. Using our square tiles, create a rectangle, or what is the area of a rectangle, with a length of 4 and a width of 2. If you can build that, what is that going to look like? A width of 4 and a length of 4 and a width of 2. If you think you've got it, give me that secret thumb. That'll be code to me that you think you figured it out. pieces. Hands off pieces. Whether you're done or not, hands off pieces. I got a couple of interesting things happening on some desks. Not everybody did the same thing. I saw Bowen putting 4 squares side by side. Bowen, you did that, yes?
Yeah.
Can you tell me why? Why did you do that, Bowen?
Because that was length 4.
Oh, so you're saying this section right here is worth 4? Is that what you're saying, Bowen? Yes? No?
Yeah.
Yeah, give me 2 signals if you did that. Because yours had a length of 4.
Yes.
You should be able to count 4 squares.
No.
Why did you do the width? Length I got. We did that. Easy peasy. You've been doing length since 1st grade. But how did you do the width? Ava, how'd you build the width?
You could do 2 rows of 4.
Am I gonna count this row? How many rows of 4? I like that language. How many rows of 4?
2.
2. So yeah, I am gonna count that one, and then I had another row stacked just like this. Cole, is that what you got?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is our width of 2.
Something different.
Maverick, how did you do something different? Talk to me.
So what I did was I went 4 down.
Oh.
Same thing, just turned over. And then I had another row of 4 coming down.
Interesting. So Maverick saying, hey, I put my length of 4 here and my width of 2 here.
No, he has
Maverick, if I hold you sideways, are you still Maverick?
Yeah.
Mm.
No, he's sideways.
If I hold you upside down, are you still Maverick?
Yeah.
So if I take that shape and I turn it sideways, is the area of that shape, the inside, gonna stay the same?
Yes.
Raise your hand. What is the area? What is the area? Samaya? 8. No. Square units. My area is worth 8 square units. Clear your boards. This time, you're going to be making a rectangle, and I want the dimensions to be a length of 3 and a width of 5. A length of 3 and a width of 5. When you've got it, give me that secret thumb. Addison asked, now she asked it with the one that we're building right now, but I'm going to go back because I already have these drawn. She said, when I'm building the width, do I count the one that's already there? This is very similar to what Ava and I were just talking about. When we're building a 5, right? Is that what you did, Addison? You built a 5? 2, 3, 4, 5. Does that 5 count when you're doing the 3 for the length? What are your thoughts? Does that 5 count when I'm doing the 3 for my width or length? Jordan, what are your thoughts on that?
I think it does.
Okay, why do you think that?
Because it's still a square. It's still part of the shape. It's still one of the square units. So
I love it.
Still count.
Love to hear it. It's still a square. We're still there. Lydia, you want to add on to that?
I was like thinking the same thing as Jordan.
Yeah.
It should count because then it would just be like a very giant piece that we didn't count.
Yeah, so Addison, it does count. Maverick, you want to add on?
No, I have a question.
Okay, go for it.
So since it's 3 by 5.
Yep.
There's like a row in the middle.
There's so much room
Does that count?
Ooh, so many good questions. Go ahead, if you haven't finished building, you can build while I'm talking, because we are just killing it in the question game. So I know I saw a lot of you go with your length, or width, or whatever I called it, of 5, and then your width of 3. And then a lot of you said, okay, well, I can do the other length. and then my other width. Right? Here we've got my other length and my other width. And Maverick's question is, what do I do with the hole? What do I do with the hole? There's a hole in that shape, you see it? There's no squares right in the middle.
You can imagine.
Marley, what are your thoughts? What am I going to do with that hole?
You can imagine. Or you can fill it in.
Yeah, Maverick, let's go back. Hang on to that thought, Marley. I'm going to come back to you.
Okay.
Maverick, let's go back to our sticky notes. Remember doing sticky notes? Did you just put them only on the outside? Or did you cover the whole thing?
I covered the whole thing.
So, there is a hole. Colby, you see the hole? Point to the hole. Right here. Marley said, well, you can use your brain and just imagine them, which was fine. But you got pieces, right?
Yeah.
Put them in there. Bing, bang, boom. Fill in the hole. Squished in hole. Marley, what was the rest of your thoughts, baby?
And also, what my dad taught me is, so, if you come up here,
Counting squares is a really good strategy. Connor, are you done counting squares?
Yeah.
Because I'm waiting to see your hand up. That tells me that you counted the squares. You got the squares counted?
Yes.
Love to see it. Julian, what is the area? How many squares were in that shape?
15 squares.
Love it. 15. Give me 2 signals. You also got that answer. Square units. Love to see it. Jordan, you got a question?
Actually, I have a different way.
This time, this is going to be a big one. So if you don't have enough pieces, you might have to work together. You might have to combine pieces. Or try to make it. I would like a rectangle with the length of 7 and the width of 3. You might have to work together. It's very likely you won't have enough pieces separately. When you or you and your partner figure it out, give me a secret thumb. Baby. How'd you build this shape? How did either you do it or you and your partner do it? How did you do it? Avery, how did you do it?
I did the width 3 and the length 7.
Okay, so you built the width first,
Yes.
right, of 3, and then the length connected. Do I count this when I'm counting my 7? It would probably be really helpful if you were looking at my board to know what I'm talking about, right, Maverick? Do I count this when I'm counting my 7?
Yes.
Yes, it's there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then what did I do, Avery? Because that does not look like a rectangle yet.
Well, since I already had my 7,
Connor.
and I had inches left, so all I had to do was just put the pieces in the exact line as I did the other pieces.
Ooh! Did y'all hear that?
No.
Say it again for the friends in the back.
Well, all I did was, since I knew this was 7, I just lined up my other lines with that 7, so it can be much easier.
I'm going to change the word lines for columns or rows. Sure, he has a column of 7.
used the
Let me just do another column of 7. Does that work?
Yeah.
Let me just do another column of 7. Does that work?
Yes.
Interesting. Give me 2 signals if you did that. Or did anyone do the 3s and just did rows of 3 over and over and over again?
No, it takes long.
Maybe.
I just put down shapes randomly.
Love to see it. Archie, raise your hand 1 second.
I didn't have enough. Sorry.
You did 3s?
Yeah.
Awesome. What was the area of the shape that you just created?
The area.
What was that area? I see Archer is counting pieces. I love it. I see Samaya's counting pieces. Ooh, Paxton, you look like you were doing an interesting strategy there. Paxton, what was your area? 21 square units. Paxton, you look like you were doing a very interesting. Paxton, you look like you were doing a really interesting strategy. Can you tell me what strategy you were doing?
So,
Did you hear that, genius? You hear that, genius?
Yeah.
Paxton, say it one more time. What was your strategy? You skip counted by 7. Marley just told me she did something similar. We've done skip counting before, yeah?
Like 5, 10, 15, 20.
We've seen something like this before, yeah? Ooh. This looks like interesting. Love that strategy, Paxton. Brogan, what's up, baby?
Because I said no.
This title says, how can I determine the area of a shape without tiles? Circle the word determine. Circle the word determine.
You don't do it. That's how you do it.
Circle the word determine.
What does that mean?
We're going to talk about it. You might see that word in a math problem. How do I determine? Does anyone know what that word might mean in this sentence?
Like,
How do I
like to determinate
How do
somebody?
I determine the area of a shape
Like to determinate
without
somebody?
tile? Jordan, what do you think?
What you like figure out?
Yeah. How can I figure out? That makes sense. Brogan, what are you thinking? Give me one.
Maybe like to figure out what the area is without using
Yeah, figure out.
and why doesn't the I make a long I even though it's an I-N-E because of E at the end?
That's a really good question. I'm gonna go with it probably didn't come from, it probably came from another.
It's called Latin.
In the first, and I was looking and I read it the other line, but when you said
Determine. Yeah, we had to flex those vowels, huh? Callie, what do you think?
maybe like do or like
Okay. Yeah. Determine is all of those things. I like figure out. That one makes my brain happy. That's how I'm going to think about it. So I'm going to write that one down.
You figure
How
out
do I
things.
figure out the area of a shape without tiles?
I'm going to shoot a big rocket.
3. Connor said there's going to be 3 squares here. You're exactly right, Connor. We know that because of this number right there. That width, that dimension, tells us there are 3 squares. Do we know anything else? Do we know anything else? Emma?
So since you drew 3 squares, and the length is 7 feet, you could imagine 6 more squares and then skip count by 7.
Could I draw the rest of these?
yes.
I love that Emma said I'm doing 6 more. This one counts. That is 1. Put whatever you're playing with on the desk. Thank you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No. Now I've got a length of 7 and a width of 3. Could I do anything else?
Yeah. Yeah.
Maverick, what else could I do?
Could the rest since you know the length and the width.
Do I know that more squares are going to go here?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. Let's go ahead and draw them in. Got them drawn in? Now, I didn't use square tiles, but can I figure out what the area is?
Yes.
I can count them. Paxton and Marley gave us the strategy of skip counting them.
Like 3, 6, 9.
Raise your hand and tell me what is the area of this shape that we just drew. I'm going to wait till I see everyone's hands because everyone can count.
What do you mean? You don't have any square tiles. Why did you put square tiles?
Can someone explain to Bowen why we put square tiles?
I have a
Archer, what is the area of this shape?
21.
21 puppies.
21 guns.
Square. Now we did have a unit. We did have a unit. Look at our dimensions. Does anyone know what FT stands for? Don't yell it out at me. Raise your hand if you know what that abbreviation is. Julian, what is that? Feet. So instead of writing square units, I'm going to write square feet because I know I'm counting by feet. That's what that FT tells me. Let's try another one. Go ahead and draw that shape in your notebook. It is a 4 by 4 square. The length is going to be 4 and the width is going to be 4. And I want to know the area of that shape. What could I do? That's your question. What could I do? Samaya, what could I do? I could draw in the square tiles, just however many I want. One here, one here, one here. No. I have to follow my dimensions. That 4 tells me 4 by 4. Now, Cole, I bet you knew the area without drawing that. Am I correct? Yeah. How? How did you know the area without even drawing the square?
I just did ready.
What did you see?
Loading up the saw.
You saw that in your head, so you just imagined that? What does that look like to you, Cole?
16.
It looks like 16 square tiles, but what does the shape remind you of? Sure. Any other things that you've seen before?
A rectangle.
Your name's not Cole? Okay. Any other things?
Trapezoid. Not a trapezoid. A quadrilateral.
Okay. This reminds me of something that I've seen before that I can use to count. Oh! Sit down, Marley. Sit down, girl.
4 by 4.
Marley, what does this remind you of?
Array.
Ooh, Cole, do you see that array?
Yeah.
I'm writing, that means you are writing looks like
An array.
an array. Now, Cole, we can do cool stuff with an array, right, Connor?
Yeah.
What can we do with an array? Do I have to count every single thing when I have an array?
No.
But you got 4, 8, 12.
There's an operation where I'm allowed to skip count and count by groups. What was that math operation called?
Loading up artillery.
Lydia, what was that math operation called?
Multiplication?
Yeah. Can I multiply?
Yes, that's what my dad was.
Do I have 4? I'm writing, that means you're writing 4 groups of 4. Do you see them? What is that worth? What is 4 groups of 4 tiles gonna be worth? Paxton? 16. How many tiles are there, Cole? 16. So my area is worth 16 square. I'm not writing units because I actually have a measurement. Inches. Very good. Put a big X on that triangle.
No.
And we're going to write no array. If there's no array,
There's no unit.
no skip counting. To find the area. Now, could I squish in some tiles, maybe cut some tiles like we did when we sticky noted our desk? Sure. It would not be very easy. It would kind of be a bummer to do that, but you could do that. But we can use that shortcut that we just looked at, where we can use what we know about an array to skip count if it looks like an array. All right, when we were making shapes the first day, created that really crazy shape with his tiles. Remember that? Let's pretend it was this one. I know it wasn't this Arik, but let's pretend. Arik created this crazy shape. Does that look like an array?
No.
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 So can't count. No. If you got a crazy shape, you're just going to have to count it. But if you have a shape that ends up looking like an array, like that one, can you skip count?
Yeah.
Can you multiply?
Yes.
Yeah, it's like a shortcut. So if you get a rectangle that looks like an array, Arik, I want to see you use those shortcut strategies. We're going to